Hello, this is Thomas Ellenberg speaking to you from Waikiki on January 6, 2008, and I would like to begin this video message by thanking Lieutenant Ehren Watada for his incredibly brave and courageous act of standing up for the truth, standing up for what is right, standing up for what is truly the meaning of what it means to be a truly patriotic American or a patriotic citizen of the cosmos. I have listened to your speeches, I have listened to his speeches, and I'm amazed at his eloquent and profoundly moving argument for citizen responsibility, for each and every one of us getting up from our lethargic time in front of the TV and doing something, actually acting in a way that will begin to wake up our sleeping society. As I watched Ehren Watada speak, giving his reasons for bravely and courageously and just amazingly, extraordinarily courageously refuse to participate in the Iraq War. As I watched him list the many reasons, I could feel his divine being, his sincerity, his soul, if you will, his divine spirit, his divine essence. I could feel it actually communicating to me through the screen, reaching out to me, brother to brother, cosmic, divine, super self that he is, saying, please help wake up America. Wake up our society. Wake up from the lethargic way that we have fallen into what big business and big government have offered us, a kind of a pseudo comfort zone that isn't, as you all know, really all that comfortable anymore. When I watched Ehren Watada speak, I thought of the founding fathers and the founding mothers and the original individuals that were awake as the ideal or the idea of forming a country where people could be free, equal, pursue happiness, not be bound by so many laws and so many taxes and so many statutes and so many limitations that their every move becomes almost an act of disobedience against the brave new world. The founding fathers were actually inspired because of coming from the old world society. This is the royal societies, the royal families, very controlled societies that allowed virtually no freedom. America, to me, growing up in the 1950s, was an ideal. It was a dream that I now have found has not come true, as I know many of you have found. I was amazed when I listened to Ehren Watada talk about how after 9/11 he felt so inspired to do what he could to help in any way that he thought he could, by being a guard or by defending, by in any way that he possibly could, defending the freedoms that seemed to be under attack. And yet now, 6 years later, many of us are learning that things are not as they seem. Many of these events, like 9/11, the assassinations of Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, the way we were lied into both the Vietnam War and the Iraq War, we're beginning to realize that this illusion that we're living under, that we are living in a free country, is in fact just that. And yet, as Ehren Watada spoke, he woke me up because he explained so clearly how even though on the outside he could be imprisoned for refusing to go to Iraq, on the inside he remains free because he is following his conscience. He's following what he knows in the depths of his heart and soul is right. And I applaud him. I am so proud to be part of his campaign to wake up America while there is still time. One of the beautiful ideas of America was that it was not going to be an aggressor country. It was going to respect the rights of other nation states. And certainly when we watched Nazi Germany invade its neighboring countries, always with a really good excuse. There always is an excuse for that kind of aggression. Growing up after World War II and watching the history of that, I never realized that the military-industrial complex that has taken over our beloved America, in fact, has been doing that. It's been manipulating, organizing, uprising, coups d'etats. It's been trying to influence in very devious ways other countries' unfoldments, other countries' liberties. And I just want to say that what I have done in the public school system as a teacher of 35 years is I have written a book called Uncle Tom's Classroom: How One Public School Teacher Awakened His Students to the Cosmic Super Self Within. It's available on Amazon.com, Barnes & Nobles, and Borders.com. And it's a true story of how I brought back free speech into my classroom, into all of my classrooms. I taught every grade from kindergarten through 8th grade in San Francisco, and working in a city like San Francisco, I was given a great deal of leeway to allow my students to discuss freely not only alternative versions of American history, which were very important, but also alternative versions of our future based on waking up from two basic illusions that we've been living under. One, the illusion that we are going to be taken care of by big government, and two, that we are going to be taken care of by big business. Neither of those giant systems are really taking care of us in our most soulful, deep, spiritual dimensions. Who we really are is not saved or comforted by any of the comforts or entertainments that the systems that are now in charge of our American culture offer us. Ehren Watada realized that his mind and emotions had been manipulated. I too, as a teacher, realized that I was being manipulated to teach my children to become compliant, capitalistic, consumeristic, overly competitive Uncle Toms. And I chose to also subvert the system by allowing my children to read what they chose to read, to study what they chose to study, to create what I called projects of bliss, and to follow their own inner intuition, to follow the dictate that was